I really struggle to believe most of what I witness, whether it be in the box in the corner of your room, the black cube, or whether it be the black cube in your pockets instead, showing you what it wants to show you on its social media sites. I think most of these things are orchestrated and the algorithms are heavily geared against us. And they are basically the final version of MKUltra mind control techniques to initiate onto the masses when you want to orchestrate or corral them go into certain directions, be that mass riots on a mass scale. And I mentioned in the last video that I posted that the whole Henry Novak thing is lighting a powder keg. It's like a fuse has been lit, and you saw it snowballing, and you saw this as like a way for the citizens of the UK and the Western Anglosphere to finally rise up with indignant, righteous anger at the heinous policies that have been put up against them over the past few decades, in which incompatible ideologies and countries and people by the millions have been flooded into their countries and have caused mass chaos and the destruction of their wealth, their children's futures, and the laws that were upheld and the cohesion that was upheld and the high trust societies that our parents tell us about just are gone. The opportunities that our young children could have had have been taken. And everyone is mad. Everyone is angry. And a lot of people, and the noticing has happened now en masse, especially with what's been going on in the Middle East as well. And, I've talked about the mass noticing happening, where everyone's realizing there's a certain group of people who seem to be orchestrating everything from behind the scenes and have allowed this to happen to us. And it seems like the stoking right now is that the white race is under attack and a sleeping giant is being awoken and the rest of it. Now, I think race is one angle that they've heavily leaned into with all of this. And, with declining birth rates and the war against us, that does seem to be obvious. We're just not allowed to say it. Now everyone seems to be able to say it now, suddenly. And so I'm dubious why that's the case. Because, again, I think there's bigger agendas at play here, way beyond the boots on the ground, immediate day-to-day symptoms of the problem we're always dealing with, like people being beheaded or young boys being stabbed, and much worse, little girls being stabbed as well at dance halls and bombs going off everywhere. I think, there's been many moments which could have set this fuse, but this is the one they decided to roll with, which is heavily racially themed. That's the aim they're going for here. And I wonder why. What's the move being played here, really, when we get down to this? Because I think people die, tragedies happen, and they never waste a good tragedy, and they have a plan, a very long-term plan in the making. Now, people argue with me all the time about this. Oh, well, Albert Pike's letter's been debunked. It can't be real because of the stuff talked about it. It can't have been written when they say it was written. And I just say, well, say what you want. That script is being played out perfectly. I've said this hundreds of times. It's all playing out exactly as written in that letter to Mazzini by that 33-degree Freemason. And he does mention that there's going to be a time where Christianity is unrestrained. And by Christianity, he means Europe. He means Europe, Canada, America, Australia, the Anglosphere, okay, where the church was established and predominantly white people are, yes, but what it really means is Christianity. The Christian nations of the earth will be unrestrained, but only after a period of subduing them under nihilism and socialism and communism. And we have just been through the process, haven't we? Through the long march through the schools of being our children and ourselves, me included as a young millennial, being indoctrinated with ultra left-wing, socialist, liberal, Marxist, counter-to-life, ridiculous ideologies that are just delusional. We've had all of that. Okay, we've been indoctrinated, and we had the social justice warrior end results happen in the 2016 period, 2015 period, and the whole DIE stuff coming in, the diversity is our strength ideologies coming in, and the, shut up white man, you are an oppressive class colonialist bigot who shouldn't be able to have your own country, you should just die already type of stuff. And most people in the Anglosphere or the Christian nations have been indoctrinated to believe that and have been self-defeatist and killing themselves, basically. Especially if you go to Canada, they're literally killing themselves now with assisted dying. It's getting out of hand.